Afternoon, VC. All right, I was gonna wait a little bit before doing this particular video, but I've got the records pulled here, so we're gonna go ahead and do it. A couple days ago, we lost Grachan Moncur III, amazing trombonist. And where to begin? I myself played trombone for probably around 9 years, 7 years in band. I made it to All-State Band in New York, but it was just, you know, reading sheet music. And I was real technical on the trombone. And when I first heard Grachan Moncur III through one of Teddy's Eat Sleep Vinyl's videos on 1964, my mind was blown, because I had never really got into jazz, even though I was playing it in school and in band. But I always just wanted to be in rock and roll and revolt against having to be in band. But yeah, it blew my mind how he could make the trombone sound like a trumpet. I still have never heard another trombonist be able to play in that style. It's absolutely fantastic music. And he had a very limited amount of releases as a leader, but his sideman work is immense and varied and all fantastic. And I have just a sampling here of some of the records that he performed on, you know, the groups he was in, things of this nature. So I'll do my best to go through these. There's quite a few. I don't have any. I thought I had a lot of his discography. It turns out I really don't, which is actually kind of exciting. So it's given me some other avenues to explore with Moncur's music that I didn't already know about. Yeah, that's kind of exciting. It is kind of disconcerting that you know, we wait until someone passes before we explore what it is they're doing. I've always thought that odd with humans, but it's what we do. You're definitely more beloved to the world when you're gone than when you're here. Seems to be the case. But yeah, the first record here is the one I'm referring to that Teddy showed, and it is my all-time jazz record. I don't have anything above this record, at least personally, and that's Evolution, as you would certainly guess. And it is kind of bad that I only have this 75th anniversary copy. I would love an original. They are way out of my price range, and I buy a lot of records. I should just save up for a couple of years and buy one. But this is a remarkable avant-bop affair, hauntingly beautiful. Bobby Hutcherson's vibes bring that haunting character to this record, but Moncur's playing is just unbelievable on this. Unbelievable. Blue Note, 1964. And his other release with Blue Note was Some Other Stuff, and this is even more a more avant affair than Evolution. You got Wayne Shorter, Herbie Hancock, Cecil McBee, and Anthony Williams on the drums here. Very young Anthony Williams at the time. Really good. I do also have these very interesting cassettes as well of both of those albums. Evolution, you got the Japanese Blue Note Obi there, and some other stuff as well, which is really, these are really cool. Some kind of bootleg deal with those. Really cool. He then, well, I don't know if it's going to be in any particular order, but I do want to mention that he he went to school in North Carolina. I think it was Laurinburg, where Dizzy Gillespie went to school. And while he was in school, he was able to sit in with Art Blakey, Jackie McLean, folks like that when he was cutting his teeth. And then when he got out of school, he started on the road with Ray Charles. What a way to get started. Moved on and did some records with Benny Golson. I don't have those records. They're really early 60s. I don't see them anywhere ever. Maybe I need to look into that further. But yeah, and then he did records with Jackie McLean, and I'll get to those. But I'll show you the rest of what he did as a leader here first. He went over to Paris and he did a lot of work with the BYG Actual label, including some as a leader. New Africa, which is absolutely fantastic. This is probably one of the first Moncur records I actually bought. Oh yeah, Roscoe Mitchell's on this, Archie Shepp, Dave Burrell, Alan Silva, Andrew Cyril, and he played as a sideman on a lot of BYG records. I'll show a few that I have. He played on 2 of Dave Burrell's records. He played on a Clifford Thornton record on BYG. He also played on an Alan Silva. I'd love to find that Alan Silva. I think Dom's got that record, and more than likely Alex. But yeah, this one's one of my favorites. Definitely out there, more free stuff with the BYG Actual titles. Acorde de Madrugada, One Morning I Waked Up Very Early, is the other that he was on as a leader. And so yeah, one of these, I think this one's an original press, the other is a reissue that I have. Excuse me. Yeah, a couple of the records as a sideman on BYG Actual. He's on the Live at the Pan-African Festival with Archie Shepp. He actually played on a lot of records with Archie Shepp. He was in Archie Shepp's group for some time. And he's also on this Homage to Africa with Sonny Murray, which is just absolutely killer. Murray's just an absolute beast on the drums on these BYG records that he's on. This is an early BYG, and this is an original. This is the 3rd in the series. Yeah, Lester Boyd, Clifford Thornton, Archie Shepp, Alan Silva, Roscoe Mitchell. Yeah, Moncur's on the B side on this. On trombone. I need to get a few more BYG titles with him on it. He also was involved with the Jazz Composers Orchestra for a brief spell on this record, Echoes of Prayer. I remember finding this at Bob's shop one Christmas time. He composed and conducted this record, and it's one of his masterworks. Humongous ensemble. Of course, Charlie Hayden on bass, Cecil McBee's on bass, Carla Bley, Hannibal and Marvin Peterson on trumpet, Carlos Ward, Pat Patrick from Sunrise on this, on flutes. Fantastic record, hard to find these days. Back to Blue Note and Jackie McLean. I'll show you a few of those records that he was on. One Step Beyond, and this is that avant bop period that I was talking about before. Bobby Hutcherson, Jackie McLean, Eddie Kahn bass, Tony Williams again on the sticks. Destination Out, which is one of my favorite, another one of my favorite Blue Notes. Different lineup here though, with Larry Ridley bass and Roy Haynes on drums. Yeah, this is a fantastic one. There's some lost recordings that got put out later. Hypnosis from Jackie McLean and Moncur's, featured on sides 3 and 4 of this, with an interesting lineup with Lamont Johnson on piano and Scotty Holt on bass, Billy Higgins drums. Also with Blue Note, he played on this, probably one of the greatest straight avant records ever made, The All Seeing Eye by Wayne Shorter. He's here. This is, if you've ever wanted to delve into the avant, just get this record. If it's not your thing, but you should still have this record. This record is unbelievably good. And it's a big group. Ron Carter's on this, James Spaulding's on this, Freddie Hubbard, Joe Chambers, Herbie Hancock. Phenomenal. I mentioned earlier he played on a lot of records with Archie Shepp. Here's just a few of those. Mama Too Tight. He's on this on Impulse with Archie Shepp. He's also on this, and I didn't know he was on this, and I just picked this up in my dig in Greenville with Eric Weinbender and John, live at the Dunawshigan Music Festival. He's here in the group with Archie. Yeah, Beaver Harris drums. Roswell Rudd is also on trombone. Multiple trombones throwing down on this one. Great performance. He again, like I said, he played as a sideman with a lot of different groups over the years. He was with Joe Henderson on this record, the Joe Henderson Sextet, The Kicker on Milestone. And as an original, this is Ron Carter bass, Louis Hayes drums, Kenny Barron on piano, Mike Lawrence trumpet, who you don't hear much about. Mike Lawrence was an all-out badass. Not someone you see featured on a lot of records. Just killer on this. Look at this white dude. Look at this guy. I mean, he don't really look like he fits in, but this dude could bring it. You can ask anybody. Played with Marion Brown on Jubilee in the septet. This is the Japanese press of this. I don't have the Netherlands original, but this is a original year Japanese press on Fontana. This is a fantastic record. He played on 3 records in the Beaver Harris 360-degree music experience. This one is Beautiful Africa, which I just recently picked up because he was on this record, and this is some serious business right here. This record, I love this group. I've already gotten the other 2 records on the way that he's on with Beaver Harris. Fucking wow. I talked about this in a recent video. He also played on this record. I was able to get a dead stock copy from Miami years ago. Butch Morris, In Touch But Out of Reach. This is a private pressing on the Karma label. And this was my first Butch Morris record, and man, I was blown away how good he is. And he plays the cornet. And yeah, there's some killer players on this. This is later stuff. Steve McCall, Bobby Battles on percussion, Wilbur Morris on bass, Charles Eubanks on piano. Yeah, this one still flies under the radar a bit. I don't think this one's gone bonkers in price. I could be wrong. The market is absolutely stupid right now. But this one, you might want to seek this one out. I think there's still dead stock copies floating around. There's a few Impulse comps that he was on. This is one that Chris Cole gifted me recently because Moncur is on this. Chris is one of the most thoughtful people in the vinyl community, easily, and this is much appreciated. I love this record. It's a double, The New Breed, and it's got Cecil Taylor, Charles Tolliver, Archie Shepp, and also Moncur compositions here as a leader. And it's a small group with him. It's Grachan Moncur with Bobby Hutcherson, Cecil McBee, and Beaver Harris. It's freaking killer stuff. There's another one too, with like a maroon cover or something, the New Jazz or whatever. But yeah, that's just a sampling. I know he did a record with Khan Jamal. It's extremely difficult to find. I think it's called Black Awareness. It's never been released on LP. I would love to see that released on LP. There's a few other things that he's done that escapes my mind, but I wanted to feature Grachan Moncur here. It was a tough one. We've lost a lot of great musicians during the pandemic. As much as everybody wants to think the pandemic's over, bullshit. So anyway, I hope you're all well. Peace.